Hey guys, I am so glad Mrs. Nixon is willing to get you guys up and out of your seats today and into the labs to practice knife cuts. So there are 3 things you need. You're gonna need this knife skills handout from Mrs. Nixon. You're gonna need a tub of Play-Doh. Those should already be in your kitchens, but each of you will have your own Play-Doh. Please don't mix the colors. My type A personality likes my Play-Doh to be the right color when I open the container. And then you're going to need a plastic butter knife today. We are not gonna be using chef's knives yet. That's coming on Monday. Excuse me, Tuesday for you guys, all right? Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is we are going to kind of take a look at this paper. We are gonna start off, I know it's kind of weird, but we're gonna start off in the middle of the paper practicing a bâtonnet. A bâtonnet. These are French terms, okay? Once I show you how to do a bâtonnet, you are going to then work on your brunoise, your fine brunoise, and then you are going to work on your julienne and your fine julienne. The dices come easy, so I'm gonna show you how to do that right now, okay? So you're gonna use a cutting board. You have cutting mats that should be out in your kitchens already. I set those up before I knew I wasn't gonna be here. And the first job is to create, oops, roll your sleeves up, is going to be to create a potato with your Play-Doh. So potatoes aren't perfect, you guys. They might have little squishes in it. So this is fine, all right? So as you know, like with this real potato here, if I were to cut it like this, that would work. But we wanna always, when we're cutting, have a solid, firm side. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead, and the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna saw it back and forth, and I'm gonna saw it back and forth like we're cutting a tree. And now I have 2 halves of my potato. I'm gonna remove one of my halves off of my cutting board, so all I have to do is focus on this. Now, the bâtonnet is the original knife cut. So basically what I wanna do is I wanna square off my potato. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna trim the rounded edges off my potato, like so. This is garbage. I'm gonna get this out of my way. All right, so now I kind of have like a square barrel, almost like a little loaf of bread, piece of Play-Doh. Okay, so I am working on my bâtonnet, which is 2 inches. So I wanna make sure that it's 2 inches wide. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim off the side here, set that aside. I'm gonna check my size on my paper. I need to trim a little bit more off. All right. And then I have my bâtonnet. Yay. So I'm gonna go ahead. It's also the julienne. I'm gonna work on the julienne next. You guys, these are like matchsticks, okay? So you're kind of like cutting matchsticks off your Play-Doh. All right, so my julienne is 2 inches by 1/8 of an eighth, and I'm just gonna julienne my Play-Doh. It's still a little too wide. So you see, you can go back and forth with your handout, no problem. This is really just getting you guys some experience with the knives and being up in the kitchen. I really, truly love when you guys can get out of the kitchen. So now I have my julienne. And then I'm gonna work on my fine julienne. It's even finer than the regular julienne. This is where it gets kind of tricky. All right, I'm gonna kind of push that off my knife board there, put it off there. I'm gonna do my fine julienne. Kind of use that to pick it up. What's nice about Play-Doh is you can totally like mold it. Your potatoes are gonna be definitely easier to cut. All right, so now we have our fine julienne. So then we're gonna take our fine julienne cut, and you'll notice that'll be the fine brunoise. So I take a matchstick from a fine julienne, kind of square it off there. And now I have my brunoise. And then I can go back to my bâtonnet, which is kind of similar to this one here. And I'm gonna cut off my bâtonnet, all right? And then my bâtonnet, my brunoise, and my bâtonnet are about half the size of each other. So I'm just gonna kind of trim it down so it's a perfect square. All right, And then finally, last but not least, the easy ones in my opinion. So now that you have this barrel, you can go ahead and do your medium dice. which, you know, we're playing with Play-Doh, guys, so squash it down a little bit. There we go. We can kind of, all right. You can do your large dice. We'll go this way on that one, so I can kind of squash it the way it's supposed to be. All right, and then rough cut. I know it's 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch, but really that doesn't matter. I'm just gonna kind of squash it down so I can get it 1 inch. I'm gonna cut, practicing holding my knife. All right, and we have that. Okay, my rough cut. All right, so this is what you're working on today. You guys are going to do this on your own paper in your kitchen. And then one more thing I want you to practice, what Jamie Oliver taught us the other day. I want you guys practicing with your other half of your potato, how to hold your potato so the knife doesn't cut you, okay? Because it's safer to practice with this. So we're gonna hold it like a claw. You'll see my knuckle out, and I'm not bringing the blade up over my knuckle, and then I can practice going back. When I get to it, my eyes are on the blade, just like we talked about earlier, okay? We have it just like that, and then when I move it, and then when I get to the end, I like to put my hand, so I remembered to not put my finger by it, behind my back, and I chop, okay? So I just want you practicing that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a picture of this with your Chromebook or with your phone, and just like with Cheesy Taco Cups, you're gonna upload your picture to the assignment today so I can give you credit for this, okay? I'm really excited to make potato soup with you guys on Tuesday, so come ready to cook on Tuesday. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.